Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pretend Problems Podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Ian Edwards.
Oh, you're Ian Edwards?
I am.
Tell me why.
He's so funny.
He is so funny and so sweet.
He is one of the funniest human beings on planet Earth. Writes a lot of shows you probably like to watch. Mm-hmm. And I remember working with him a long time ago, and he has a joke that I don't want to spoil it, but it's one of my favorite jokes of all time.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, but we don't get to know.
It's just about his grandpa. I can't tell it.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a white.
Okay.
So I'm not allowed to tell it, but it is written so well. There's just, the word economy is amazing. Mm-hmm. The surprise is amazing. Like, all of it. It's incredible. So
look up Ian.
Go listen to Ian Edwards for sure.
If you are watching on YouTube or even just listening, might sound a little different than usual. Looks a little different than usual because we are in Southern California seeing our families, and we're recording this on the road. So apologies if it sounds a little different, looks a little different than usual. We'll be back to normal next week.
That's right. We'll be back to the chairs everyone hates next week. But for now, we're on a love seat in a hotel room. So we just got done with our OnlyFans, and now we are recording this podcast. Yeah.
It's always nice when you sit on a piece of furniture to know that no less than 4,000 people have fucked on it.
Yeah.
I never sit on a hotel couch. I'll sit on like a rolly chair because I'm like, maybe they give that a wipe, but I'm so grossed out right now.
Yeah. This is a crime scene.
I know. I guess we could have just done it on the bed.
What if our podcast gets more listeners because now we're in a crime scene? Isn't that what everybody likes?
It's true.
Everybody loves to listen to true crime and then stay in their home because they're scared of public. Mm-hmm. What a cool life.
Well, I bet if we shone a clare. Why did that sound so weird? A black light on this couch, we would also never sleep ever again.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of it recent from when you were sleeping. I had to take care of some business. But.
Oh my God. Get you all horned up seeing women with lips almost the exact same size as their arm down here in Southern California.
So insane.
Listen, do what you want to do to your face and body, but it is pretty wild when you come down to Southern California and you just go into a coffee shop and you see women who have like really lost touch with reality.
Yeah. I'm going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do. Look however you want to look, but understand that when you are a twat, then all of that comes into play, right? It's like on Law and Order where they go, objection, Your Honor. And then the other lawyer goes, well, he opened the door.
Yeah.
Now I get to question about it. It's a lot like that. It's like, we wouldn't have said a word about this lady's lips.
No.
Unless she went full twat. And then you go, well, now I got my bumper sticker comments. Now I'm going to go for the easiest thing. And guess what? It's the lips because they just touched my shoulder and you're 4 feet away from me.
Yeah. Yep. She was a real twatty bitch twat. And
you're not going to believe this.
What?
In high school, I was in a band called Twatty Bitch Twat.
I do believe it, actually.
Yeah. I played the xylophone.
I fucking miss a xylophone. That was a very soothing instrument to play in like 5th grade in music class. Just that
soothing for you. When I got those mallets, we got a little crazy.
That also doesn't surprise me.
Somewhere in a dump, there's a dented xylophone from my solos.
Oh my God.
And then I used to just run it across. Ring, ring.
I love it. Let's get a xylophone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, anyway, we were waiting in line at a breakfast place down here in the Irvine area, and this woman just stepped right in front of me, and I went to say like, oh, like maybe she somehow did not realize that this is a line.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
So the line is so long, but the line also crosses a sidewalk.
Oh.
So we had to leave space in the line for people to pass by us on the sidewalk. And then she came in and then got in line, and it looked like she didn't realize we were in line.
Yes, exactly. And so I didn't even get even half a sentence out. I just started to go, oh, And she whipped around and goes, I have to get my coffee. Like, almost exactly like that. No, not an ounce of warmth, not an ounce of like, oh yeah, no, I know that. Just like so cunty immediately. And that's when I was like, well.
Yeah. And it threw me for quite a loop because she said all that without her lips moving because they're too heavy. Fully injected, freshly injected. So it was more like, and I'm glad you understood it because it scared the shit out of me. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. This was something you would see on like a botched reality TV sort of show of like, yeah. And she was mean. And I, again, would have never said a mean word about her, even to you, if she hadn't been mean to us. And then I was like, well, fuck you. Here we are. So Chad and I were both working out in the hotel gym before we recorded this. And I went down first. Mm-hmm. And there's a man standing next to the water machine with his phone facing him, FaceTiming, I'm going to assume his wife, and he's just standing there loudly, no headphones. They're having a full FaceTime conversation, hogging that entire area. And I was like, this bothers me. And if this bothers me, this is going to make Chad furious.
I want you to know that my new strategy, I know I'm always trying something new and everybody's like, just be yourself. But I'm trying to engage people in conversations in public.
Okay. Right?
Whether it's like, if they have a sign, I go like, hey, where are you headed with that? Oh, all right, cool. Have fun. Just so I'm in that headspace.
Okay.
So I got in there and I saw what was happening and I hated it immediately.
It was so fast. I knew it was that fast because usually it's like if you would walk into a gym and see me, I was like trying to wave at you like, hi. You didn't even see, I wasn't even there. You were immediately so focused on how can I murder this man?
He was talking, so I assumed something was going on. I clocked no AirPods, and then I clocked he was looking behind the machine, and I go, he's either got someone back there, like his trainer's back there stretching, or it's a phone. Not only is he FaceTime, so many things happened. First of all, let's start at the beginning. Okay. I walk in, I clock all that stuff, and I go, you know what? Chad, you have AirPods in. Turn up your music. So that's what I did, and then I went for it. But then you had to go over and use the water machine, and then he was still like, yeah, go ahead.
No, I
but just still, still like looking at the phone and like staring. So then I go, well, bro, that's weird. Then he's doing sets.
Yes.
While talking. It's like, what is this? Maybe this is a live old person OnlyFans. We don't know. So then I'm curious.
Yeah.
So then I bring my water bottle over there and I look and he's talking. This bitch is driving.
Yes.
Not riding, driving.
They both are nightmares. They're perfect for each other.
So I let all that go and I go, you know what? Whatever. I get my water. And I will tell you this. Here's what turned me a little bit. This dude, the water machine is like, it's a no touch. You have to hover your finger over it.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see any of that shit without my glasses. So I just like am fucking pushing buttons. And the water starts to go before I have my water bottle under there. And it kind of goes on the ground. He walked over, got a towel, and set it down on the water I had spilled. So I go, this dude is, I think a lot of people would not do that.
Yeah.
So what this guy's doing is he knows he's already taking up his gym bullshit meter.
Okay.
And so then he's doing everything he can in replacement of that.
Okay.
And I go, you know what? Like, whatever. I don't think she should be FaceTiming driving.
Yeah.
Still. Then you leave. Then he starts doing old man sit-ups using the bench. And that is what got me.
Well, explain.
You just sit on the bench and you're like barely moving.
Okay.
But now this is going to sound selfish and I know it is. I want the bench.
Sure.
For bench things.
Yeah.
There are balls. There are several other things you can be doing. There's the floor where I did my abs.
Yeah.
Sorry. Where I did my middle section. And so now he's doing this shit, and but he's not really using it for anything.
Yeah.
He's sitting and doing this thing. It's like, all right, I already used the machine as much as I could. I got to get on that thing.
Yeah.
I'm on a time crunch.
Mm-hmm.
We should have recorded this podcast when we were home. Now we're doing it in the hotel room.
Yeah.
So I got to get up there. And he's just still doing these things where he's like reaching his arms up and bringing them down and pulling them back up. Like he looks like a confused person in a football crowd that doesn't know how to do the YMCA. And I just want to go, hey, if you're going to do this shit, grab a noodle and go in the pool with the other olds.
I was just going to say, it sounds like air synchronized swimming.
Yeah, go march in place in the pool, bro.
Yeah.
That bench is not for that.
Right.
There's an ab wheel. There are ab balls.
Yeah.
There's the ab floor.
Right.
All of it you could use. This is not an ab bench.
Yeah.
And there's only one.
Yeah.
So this guy was taking up space. Then he got off the bench, and then he laid a towel down right in front of all the weights and was doing that. And I did think, just for a sec, I'm going to grab the heaviest ones, and I'm going to accidentally drop it. Just thought that for a second.
Sure.
And now everybody that loves true crime is all horned up again.
God, you're so good at callbacks. It's crazy.
I can't go to the gym. What if a crazy man drops a weight on me? I heard it on a podcast.
Added to the Final Destination trailer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so you didn't say anything to that guy.
You know what I said? Have a great day when he left.
Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called progress.
It is called progress. Never perfection, because I didn't want to drop a weight. But I also, I will tell you, talking to people in public, I went to Disneyland, and I was talking it up. Friends of the podcast, friends of the live shows, friends in general.
Yeah.
John and Nicole brought Olivia and I to Disneyland.
So sweet.
And it's so sweet. And so had a great time, but I'm in there and everybody's looking at me like, you're talking to a lot of people. Like I'm in line and I'm zipping it. And it was fun.
You do love to do that.
I do. Because I think when I'm talking like that, I don't have time for the other stuff. I don't have time to sit and dwell on somebody that's cutting their fingernails in line. And I want to go, that's for home, dude. This is the happiest place on earth, you motherfucker. That's what I want to say. But instead, I'm just going like, I have a tiger tattoo. You have a tiger tattoo. Instead, I look like I have a handler. I have a tiger tattoo. So do you.
Was somebody actually cutting their fingernails?
I've seen that before. Not on this day.
Okay, but in public. Jesus. I thought you'd be a little proud of me down in the gym because I did intentionally go fill up my water when I didn't really... No, you know what? I did, actually. Forgive me. I was thinking about going back later because I didn't need more. I did actually need water. And this guy, he was just on there for so long. Had his phone on the machine in that area. And I just thought, you know what? Fuck it. I've been thirsty. I'm going to go over there and maybe this will like help him realize, oh, you know what? I'm standing in a very shared space. Frankly, like one of the most shared spaces of a gym, you're in front of the water machine in a communal gym. And so I was proud of myself that I like got over there and I looked at her on the phone. I looked at him like, all right.
Yeah, that's great. I did also look way over into the phone and expect her to be like, however you say who's that in Russian.
Yeah.
But I'm moving a little towards you and you're moving a little towards me. Mm-hmm. So we're close to this podcast coming to an end. Because as soon as we get on the same space of Candyland, that's it. We've done it.
Then we're done.
Yeah. Because nobody wants to see two of the same exact people talking about stuff. Yeah. That's not fun. But now it's kind of interesting because I'm like, yeah, whatever. And you're like, well, I went over there and I looked in the phone. I love it.
I know.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And I would have done that even if you weren't in there. But you being in there did kind of add a little like, ooh, I want to show him that I'm also annoyed by this and I'm going to throw my weight around, as they say.
I think I've said be nice and pay attention. Mm-hmm. Those two things happen. The world is such a great place. Mm-hmm. He was nice.
Yeah.
And when I say pay attention, I mean be aware of your surroundings, and that is not. As soon as somebody else comes in, for sure two people,
Yeah.
Like you were across the gym on the treadmill, so maybe that makes a little sense. But as soon as people are kind of in your space now, then you go, gotta run. Also, you shouldn't be FaceTiming while you're driving. That's crazy.
That's fucking... I know, I was thinking of your whole pay attention, be kind thing, that both of them are immediately fucking up that first part. She is the worst part of not paying... You're going to FaceTime and drive? It's fucking crazy. So anyway, that's been our morning. Chad had shows in Irvine.
Yes.
Over the weekend, and then I flew from Atlanta where I had shows to meet him here because some of my family lives in Southern California. Chad's daughter is down here going to school.
That's right.
And
I've got cousins.
And you've got cousins.
In the San Diego area that we got to go see.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I love those dudes a lot.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Shout
all
out
of
to...
them. I shouldn't just say dudes. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
Yes. The men and the women.
Yes.
You're so funny on this podcast. Sometimes you give a lot of shout outs to people that I don't think ever listen to the show.
And that's okay.
Or maybe they do, but it's just this one random person, but I think you do it because you want to make them feel nice. And it's just a nice thing, but sometimes I'm like, nobody knows.
Yeah, I know they don't, but I just do it because they're my people and I like them.
No, it's a sweet thing you do. Yeah. So I was in Atlanta and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who came out to those shows. I know we had several big podcast listeners, people who have written in. It was really nice to meet you. Some of you had said that you had met Chad there before, and it was overall a great time. The crowds were good. The last show of the weekend, my God, it was fucking mayhem. I had several people. I was playing whack-a-mole with hecklers where I was just what in the fuck is going on right now? But we got through it. One of them was my least favorite sort of heckler, a drunk guy who came through the merch line afterward with his friend with joke ideas for me and was you can use that. And I just wanted to be I promise you I never will because you're not funny and you should get the fuck out of here.
So, sir, this is me talking to this guy.
Yeah.
So, sir, you have a soft palate. It's you know it as the roof of your mouth. If you scratch that with a 9mm and then flinch your finger, you can use that. You can use that. You should use that.
I would love when somebody is doing shit like that to me in the merch line or just in general life to tag you in. Just go, hey, can you just pause? Just pause right there. I'm just going to grab somebody, tag you in, have you say that. Because I never in a million years would think to say that. And it's so funny. And I love that your brain works like that sometimes.
Sure. And spoiler alert, I know that suicide's not funny. I'm not talking about suicide here. I'm talking about self-murder. And I do mean that in a very different way.
Yeah. No, this guy, you have talked a lot about how there's either, whether it's a certain generation or just people in public who behave poorly, i.e. the guy in the gym today, who you're you were not course corrected growing up. And now I, as a random adult, feel that I have to be the one to tell you that you're being a fuckhead. Yeah. This was for sure one of those people where it's I'm going to go to a comedy show. I'm going to shout whatever I want at this comedian throughout the show without getting kicked out because security didn't do anything. And then I'm going to come through the merch line and not be at all ashamed of how I behaved. In fact, I'm going to say that I think I know how to do your job. And that is the type of person that, should be maybe not with us.
Yeah, I'll just go with sometimes I'll go with if you come back and prove you can sit through a show shutting the fuck up.
Yeah.
Then maybe only, I will listen to your ideas.
Yeah.
But right now, absolutely not. I spent my entire fucking set listening to you.
Yeah.
So scooch, bitch.
Yeah. It was interesting, but other than that, it was a great time.
Good. I was in Irvine.
Yeah.
Irvine is such a wonderful place because you have diehard fans that come out to these shows. So much fun. They come through. And then there are people that come to comedy but will not budge.
Okay.
They think they are so important to the world revolving.
Yeah.
And it's we're so close to an ocean. Go swim out a mile and see how fucking important you are. You're just not. No one is. No one's important. I'm not. No one is.
Yeah.
So you do get a lot of that in the OC, in the Orange County. And so, and just like not a lot of fun when you're joking about stuff and they take it personally, they lock it out for a while. Mm-hmm. They're adults that pout. Is there a worse group on planet Earth than adults that pout? I don't think so.
No.
So, what made it awesome is that the diehard fans then got to hear me shame and lose my mind on the pouters. And I thought that was very fun. Because then they'd come through the line and they go, dude, thank you. I live here and it is fucking tough sometimes. And those guys, you know, blah, blah, blah. So,
that's great. Then.
So it was, I do always have fun when I'm there. And then, of course, the manager of the club moved from Milwaukee. And so I've known him forever, Jake. And so it was really fun to see him. Just nice. It's a really well-run club.
Okay.
It's crazy. And so I had a blast. And then Olivia came out and her friends came out.
Did I hear that there were 12 friends?
12 friends, the Dirty Dozen. Oh my God. And they got to hear a dad talk worse than them. And so I thought that was interesting. At one point I go, my daughter's friends are here and I'm never going to be allowed in her home again. And I pay for it. So, but everybody came through and everybody was real nice about, we took a giant picture. One kid goes, Mr. Daniels. And I go, nope, sorry. Can't do that.
God, that has to be so fucking cool to be a college kid and be like, yeah, let's go see my dad at the Irvine Improv, like destroying.
I don't know. I don't know what she thinks about it, but it was awesome to have her there. Oh. And she was like floating back and forth and she loves it because she's come up in the improvs kind of, like when I travel. And so she knows, order the food. She'll tell me what she had because she knows about the tipping, like how we tip and stuff like that. So she's, it's really fun to have her there.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. This episode is brought to you by Factor. Hey, make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. You can get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and even more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals pack in the flavor and none of the fuss.
Yes, we love Factor so much. They were so kind. They sent us some of their meals and some of their juices, their fresh pressed juices. And my God, they're all so delicious. It's especially nice on weeks where Chad and I are maybe just home for like 48 hours. We don't want to have to go to the grocery store and buy a whole bunch of stuff for the week. But we also don't want to just like make ourselves cereal for dinner. We want to have like an actual hot meal that's easy to make, ready to go, and is still so healthy. There's so much protein in the meals we got, and they're delicious. I really love that the one that's like there's like a barbecued pork chop, and it has like a cheesy cauliflower rice with it. It's just they're such delicious meals. I really, really love them.
Yeah, nobody wants to spend 45 minutes cooking after you've exercised. It's like you just want to get home and get fuel back in your body.
Yes. So get started at factormeals.com/pretendprob50 off and use code pretendprob50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code pretendprob50 off at factormeals.com/pretendprob50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Now back to the show. Should we get into the middle segment? So we are continuing to read off of the email that was sent in. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you for continuing to send middle segment suggestion ideas. If you've never written in, it's pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. And also know that you do still have your 2 Patreon episodes coming this month. We just have been traveling a lot, but they will be there shortly before the end of the month, as always.
Yeah. So, You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, middle segment. Would you rather be handed 10 million or play one hand of blackjack for 10 billion?
I'm going to go 10 million.
This is tough for me because I really do want to play that hand for 10 million.
I know you do.
Or 10 billion, excuse me. And I almost want to get 2 aces so I can split them. But I'm going to take 10 million because you put that in a standard bank account and you make $400,000 a year in interest. And all that's going to do, if you put that in an actual money-making account, once the tariffs... Nope, pause, never mind. If you put that in a money-making account, then you're going to be making far more than that. So yeah, 10 million is like...
It's so much money.
It's too much money. I think if you go, would you rather be handed 1 million or play for 10 billion? Now I'm really thinking about it.
I was thinking something.
And like, what gets to happen? Do we play it up all day? Does this blackjack hand happen on live television?
Yeah, is it like just the one hand? What is it? Yeah,
it's got to be. Yeah, I guess.
Crazy.
Amazing. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
Would you rather be sticky or slippery for the rest of your life?
I'm gonna say slippery.
Without
sticky
question,
is
slippery.
Horrifying.
When my fingers get sticky, it is a full fucking code red for me. I don't like it at all, and can't handle it.
No, yeah.
If you got paid to smell armpit, feet, or breath, which would you choose?
Oh, that's a hard one. I get a real visceral reaction from all three thinking about that.
I'm going to answer this one first because I feel like I'm copying all your answers. I'm going to go breath.
Really?
I'm going to go breath because to me, armpit or feet, what's making the smell there is bacteria. I don't know what's making the smell in breath, but...
Bacteria.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm going breath.
I'm going breath too because I think the stinkometer possibilities with armpits and feet are higher than like the worst case of bad breath. I don't know. It still would be better, I think.
I've been in a line where someone hasn't washed their shirt ever. And I've asked them if I could smell their breath. I'm like, hey man, can you blow towards my nose to get this fucking stink out of here, please? Okay. Every day for the rest of your life, would you rather live in Manhattan, Kansas or Manhattan, New York?
I have to tell you, when I first read this, my gut instinct was actually Kansas just because of, like, I don't know anything about Manhattan, Kansas. I don't know if this is like the tiniest podunk town that I would actually like hate to live in. But our lifestyle now, like now living in Minnesota and like living in an area that feels a little rural at times, like not like Manhattan, New York. I mean, you are fucking, there is no off switch. Even when you're in your hotel room, an apartment, it is like the noise. It's just so much stimulation. And I think I'm at an age where I initially was going to say Kansas, but then I'm like, I don't know. What would you say? You answer.
Kansas for sure for me.
Okay.
And that's no dig on anyone that lives in Manhattan, New York. It's just for me personally.
Yeah.
You're talking about the rest of your life. I've seen old people shuffling around New York. There's no helpfulness.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like that's a place I'd want to be after 70. And so Manhattan, Kansas also is where the University of Kansas is. And so it's a college town.
Oh, then
it's a fun little place. So I would do Manhattan, Kansas,
I can't believe that I would rather live in Kansas. That's a real, like a testament to my age. I'm just like, I can't handle that level of stimulation anymore. It's too much.
Sure.
So funny. Was that it for those?
That was it for those, yeah.
Thank you for writing those in. I think these are so fun to answer.
They are very fun. I hope you guys are answering at home as well.
Yeah. And we've got some good listener questions to answer on this episode too.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Ready to jump in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Boner pill dilemma.
Okay.
Catching up and way behind. I just heard the question about the when to take the boner pill. There is a 5 milligram per day dose of Cialis. It builds in your system quickly, and then you don't game to deal with the 30-minute wait. I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. Maybe have to deal.
Okay.
They meant.
Don't have to deal with the 30-minute wait. Yeah, you're much better at this.
I've had to read people's typos and autocorrects.
You're ready to go at all times without unwanted boners. Interesting. I take that dose for a different medical condition that is cardiac related. I'm 62 and am ready to go whenever. 5 birthday party emojis. With the guy blowing the party favor with the little purple hat. That's awesome. Okay, so you can take 5 milligrams a day, and then it just builds. And so it's like your little helper. Yeah.
You're right. You are catching up because that is an old email from one of the episodes where I believe it was it a guy who had written in saying that his partner didn't appreciate that if he had like already taken a pill, that there was some kind of a pressure put on her to then have sex, even if she didn't feel like it that night. And I think he was
like, sex or pull-ups?
Yeah.
You pick, because I have a rod right now.
Yeah, I think he was trying to figure out, how do I do this in a way that doesn't feel presumptuous or put pressure on her, but that actually like makes me ready to go when I want to go. So there you go. If you're listening and you wrote that in a long time ago, there we go.
This could be a middle segment question. Would you rather take 5 milligrams of Cialis a day and have an okay boner whenever you want, or would you rather inject it right into your dick and have a hot rod?
I can't answer that.
That's for 4 hours.
That's a question for you.
That's incredible.
It's a question for the men listening.
That's when you go to the beach, when you're like, if she's like, well, you know what? I know I said I wanted to have sex, but now I don't. And that's everyone's prerogative. They get to do that. Yeah. But then you go to the beach, you lie on your back, and you tie a flag to the end of your dick. You just go, here we are.
Someone's parasailing off it.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, here's the next one. Dentist, bad idea.
Okay. By the way, I meant paragliding. I'm just now realizing that. Parasailing doesn't make sense.
Kelsey and Chad. In terms of do what I say, not what I do, it's tough to be more of a hypocrite than me telling my kids dental hygiene is important. I'm a 46-year-old blended family dad with 5 kids, ages 10 to 16.
Whew.
In parentheses, it's loud all the time.
Hello, puberty.
That's a guy who that's a guy or girl who deals with constant noise, that they're putting that last one in parentheses just to whisper it, just for a little bit of silence. My wife is a big believer in going to the hygienist twice a year and getting that new mouth feel. I'm more of a, if it ain't broke, don't fix it guy. I brush twice a day and floss in traffic with one of those little plastic picks. My rationale, if my breath is good for her to kiss me, who else am I trying to impress? I'm doing good until an old filling broke in half this weekend. That sucks. Yeah. So 3 hours and $1,600 later, my wife believes she's got a solid I told you so. I believe my vintage rural South Dakota filling from 1996 would have cracked eventually anyway. Who's right? Oh, I love a who's right.
I love a who's right. I wish we got more who's right.
Because even if we're wrong, it doesn't affect us. They have to fight about it in the privacy of their own home with 5 kids screaming. Finally, I'm listening to Kelsey's Mark Your Territory in the dental chair. 4 sets of fancy needle nose pliers, 2 suction lines, and the big drill in my mouth when Kelsey says, don't smell her neck, or don't smell their neck. It was a bad plan to try to stifle the laughs. Thanks for all the laughs, your fellow Minnesotan Chris. I love that you're trying to listen to her comedy while like having to focus on dental work.
I can't believe they let you do that. Did they let you just like have headphones in? That seems like
Oh yeah, they always do.
Oh, really?
When you're having a big dental procedure like that, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought that they would have to be communicating to you to tell you like things to do. Interesting. Well, I'm very flattered that you listen to the special, watch the special, whatever. Thank you. And also that you decided to do that to like get you through a tough procedure. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I have to go back to a tweet here. This is years ago, but A father tweeted about his daughter. I finally got my daughter to listen to the my favorite Richard Marx album. Mm-hmm. And then Richard Marx replied and said, what dental procedure was she getting? So funny.
Oh my God.
To make fun of your own music because you know it's at the dentist's office.
Fuck.
I
That's
love it.
hilarious.
Richard Marx seems like a rad dude that I would love to hang out with.
I don't really know anything about that man.
No. Well, all you need to know is when you break down his name, it's Dick Marx. And that is pretty sweet.
Pretty boss.
Pretty great.
Okay, when you're asking who is right here, I think you're both right in different ways. I think you're right in that a crown breaking... Chad, listen.
This isn't going to start a fight.
You have plenty of starting fights on your own.
Okay.
I know you're going to say stuff that will make them start a fight. Let me just say how I truly feel.
Okay.
I think it's impossible to know if you had been getting consistent cleanings, if that crown would have broken anyway. You're right. I don't understand crowns enough to know.
It's a filling. It's a filling.
A filling. Oh, okay. Sorry. Either way, I don't know. I don't know if that impacts it, if that's more like, I know that you can fuck up a filling from like clenching your teeth at night. Who knows? I will say though, your wife is right in that you should be going twice a year. This whole like, I'm brushing my teeth regularly, I'm flossing, should keep my breath good enough. The way bacteria builds in your mouth, like the plaque, there's a reason that dental hygienists have to use the tools that they use to scrape that shit off your teeth because it hardens and your typical tools you're using aren't able to get them off the way theirs can. And there are so many studies now about how like your oral hygiene impacts the rest of your health hugely, especially brain health. And I think it's something you should take as seriously as possible and that you should get your mouth cleaned. And also it just feels nice. And then you know you've got like a clean, nice feeling mouth.
Yeah.
Well, okay, tell me what you think.
I think you two were not made for each other. I think you need to leave each other. You need to take whatever kids you brought to this relationship, get the fuck out.
Sake.
What I actually think is, so I go to the dentist, and this isn't going to make anybody thrilled, but I go to the dentist not twice a year. But here's the thing. I use a vibrating toothbrush, a Sonic Care vibrating. Just wait. You can shake your head. Go ahead. But when I go in there, they always ask, because I go when I'm at the cabin in the summer, and they always ask me, they go, oh, did you find a place in Minneapolis? They did a nice job. And I go, I didn't. I just sit with my Sonic Care where I know most of the buildup is, and I go a little extra time on there to get rid of the plaque before it hardens. I also floss. And so that's where I'm coming from. I believe you. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I do believe that oral hygiene does affect all your other health.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I have to call in early. I have to go get antibiotics because I have a hip replacement. And so I guess the bacteria that can get into your gums when they're bleeding that badly can cause an infection, blah, 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 blah. Also, you look great today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Got my glasses on. Your skin is poreless.
Thank you.
And you're just all around glowing. You look great.
So nice. Thank you.
I also don't think that they can tell you when a filling's going to break. I think it just breaks because it hits funny. I mean, if you got a filling in South Dakota in 1996, maybe Captain Crunch isn't your friend. Maybe you don't need to be eating that for cereal.
Maybe cool it on the corn nuts.
Yeah, Pop Rocks. We get it. They click. Make your tongue feel nice. But you don't need to do that. Who knows what you're eating, but there's times where I'm even eating like a mango. And I'll feel my teeth separate funny. And I go, oh, God, thank God I didn't have a filling in that tooth. It have pulled right out.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, like suction's weird.
I know for me, just another thing, as I've gotten older, it's become so important to get the regular cleaning for like the buffing that they do, not just the scraping where they're like really getting plaque, but the buffing because I don't drink coffee, but I have a smoothie a lot of mornings that has blueberries in it. And if you've ever, especially had like frozen blueberries and gotten them on your fingers, you know how quickly it stains even just your fingers that are not bright white? you think about that shit coating your white teeth on a daily basis, it does start to stain them. And so they have made that comment to me that, like, especially my back teeth, they're like, yep, like, we can tell that you drink smoothies with blueberries. And so just, like, make sure that you are within, they always say, finish a smoothie within 30 minutes if you can, and then, like, really swish with water, brush your teeth if you can. But anyway, it's just, like, something to note that I've been kind of surprised by how much that actually impacts your teeth. I'm like, oh, fuck, you think you're doing this healthy thing, but you are. It's just also kind of fucking up your teeth sometimes.
A lot of prison tats, blueberries. Not a lot of people know that. Hieroglyphics, they found out that those were made with blueberries. So brush your teeth, you fucking dirty animals. All right, this one is called Advice Before This Mama Bird's Chicks Fly the Coop. Hi, Kelsey and Chad. First of all, thank you both for being the perfect mix of hilarious and heartfelt. Since I started tuning in, I've watched all your specials, and I've become a fan of you both. Hopefully, I can snag some tickets next time either of you are in Michigan. A date night sounds amazing. We have every other weekend sans children. I wish I could remember how I got turned on to the podcast, but mom brain, haha. I find myself so excited to see the next episode up. It really makes the midweek grind so much more tolerable. Luckily, I work from home, so when I burst out laughing, my cat is the only one disturbed. Speaking of cats, I usually watch on YouTube so I can see the majestic Miss Mia. Unapologetic cat lady over here. But I digress.
We don't have Mia today. It's so weird.
Here's a little background. I'm a 35-year-old mom of 2, an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old, and a stepmom to 3, 13, 11, and 7. Whoa, so you guys doubled up on the 11-year-olds and the 7-year-olds.
Well, and it's funny, too, because this is a blended family of 5. The guy who just wrote in, blended a family of 5. What if this is the wife to the
I gotta tell you, God, I hope so.
God, I hope so, too. That'd be very funny.
Your husband's breath stinks, and I'd rather smell his armpit. For Christ's sake. Okay, so we have a 13-year-old, 2 11-year-olds, 2 7-year-olds, not twins. I'm in the fucking thick of it with these children. I'm swimming in an ocean of BO, hormones, and mood swings. Most days, I'm so frazzled, I'm just trying to get my husband to go to the dentist. No, that's not what it says.
Oh my God, first I was like, I don't remember reading that part. What?
Most days, I'm so frazzled, I'm just trying not to lose my mind. However, I wouldn't change a thing. On the bad days, I just remind myself that everything is temporary and it won't be this hard forever. On the good days, I feel so blessed to have such amazingly unique and loving kiddos. I'm reaching out because I've been thinking about the future. I have about a decade left before all of the kids are grown, and I'm trying to figure out how to maximize the experience and really prioritize what I want to do for them before they all leave. Most of the time, I'm just trying to get through the day. My mental bandwidth ebbs and flows, and sometimes it's hard to figure out what I should be focusing on at that moment. Chad, as someone who's navigated this phase with brutal honesty and humor, do you have any regrets or moments you wish you'd handled differently during your kids' childhoods? Anything you'd tell past you to prepare better for? And Kelsey, I'm always moved when you talk about your mom and what you're going through. If you could go back, is there anything you wish you'd asked her or talked about more before her diagnosis? I thought about making a journal of memories for my kids to read in the future. If you had any ideas on what I should write, I would appreciate it. I know this isn't the most clever or witty email. You guys really get some doozies. But if you have any advice, I would really love to hear what you have to say. Thanks in advance, and thanks for the laughs. You can say my name. I attached a pic of all the kiddos. Oh, here they are with pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Great job. I have to go back to the top.
Oh, okay.
Say my name. Summer.
Summer, thank you for writing in. And what a thoughtful, nice email. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't have anything I really regret. I'm at a great point in my life with both my children. And, there are moments where you go, fuck, I wish I wouldn't have done that. But you can't be perfect. So let's take that out of the equation. Let's take perfection out of the equation. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to have things that you talk. I mean, this just happens naturally, though, right? Like when they're all out of the house and they're home for Thanksgiving, one kid's going to bring up, oh my God, do you remember when this happened? And then everyone is going to tell their side of it. And those moments just happen naturally. So focusing on them, I don't think so. Maybe spending individual time, I would try that because everyone, you say they're so unique. I would definitely try to get some individual time. I'm sure you already do that. I guess I don't really know adventures with them individually if you can. I mean, my son and I went hiking in Montana, and then we would go canoeing in the Boundary Waters. My daughter and I had more time at home together alone because my son was out of the house, and then Olivia and I had that, and that was during COVID. So basically she was distance learning. I had her at home all the time, and so we had those memories. And then we went on some fun trips as well, just the two of us. So I would say if you can make individual memories instead of just group memories, that would be great. But as far as like regretting and sitting there and worrying about something you've done, I would let that go because perfection is not a possibility. Yeah. I also I've read my favorite books like onto the computer. So they'll have those videos, and I've read my favorite children's books for grandkids and great grandkids or whatever, just in case. So you could always do that too if you wanted.
That's so nice.
But it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's tough because you can see the countdown happening even though you have over a decade. That decade is gonna move. That is the one thing I'm gonna tell you. I know everybody always talks about it. Yeah. But it is gonna move quickly. And so I think this is gonna sound artsy fartsy, but just be as present as you can with your kids. Yeah. I think is gonna be the key to that.
Yeah.
You sound like a great mom, by the way, already, just by what you wrote.
The fact that you would even take the time to write that in and care, there are so many parents who I'm sure are not even thinking about this. So the fact that you are and asking for advice is really cool. The things with my mom, I wish that I had spent more time asking her like specifics about her life or like her life before me. I did ask questions, but I think at the age I'm at now, and especially knowing what I know now with my mom's disease, I would have just been more invested, I think, in learning more. There's a great, it's like a card game that we bought, and I don't remember what it's called. I bought it off of TikTok, and I will try to remember to say it next episode because I don't have it in front of me, but it's a deck of cards that are like question prompts for your parents, ideas of things to ask them, and we did it with my dad and stepmom when they visited last year, and it's really interesting. It's like, tell me about your favorite family vacation when you were growing up. Tell me what your favorite memory from grade school was. Like things that are just so specific that you might not think to ask on your own, but it's a really well thought out deck of cards. And so I will say what it is the next episode when we're back home. But
I also want to throw this out there. You talked about writing stuff down, like a journal of memories. Mm-hmm. I think that would be really cool for your kids to read, but also go up a generation. If your parents are still with you or your husband's parents are still with you, find out like when people came to this country, where did they live before? Because my mom and sister and I are going to Germany, and I was like, oh, where are the Zieglers from? That's my grandma's maiden name. Because her parents were off the boat. And it's like, we don't know. So my grandma, her sister, and her brother have all passed. There's one brother left. And so now we need to, and he doesn't reply to text messages. So we need to figure out where that is. So if you can find out that information for the kids and have it written down and so they can pass it down, I think that would be really cool too.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know how interested your kids would be in this because they're younger, but like being the age I am now, I wish I knew more about how my mom felt when she got pregnant with me and like more of what that experience was like for her and what it was like with me when I was young and just more of those things that I just would like to hear her experience as a mom too.
Yeah. And then I think lastly, I think every kid wants to know what sexual position they were conceived in. And so I would throw that in the journal as well, let them know, just like, so they can talk about it when you guys are gone at Christmas and be like, hey, man, I'm doggy style. Oh, wow, I was up against the wall or whatever.
Thank you for making me laugh. I was starting to get a little emotional, actually. Just think about mom stuff, and so I'm like, it's better to just not go there today. So, thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for spending this episode on the road with us. I know it's kind of an unusual one for us, but we'll be back to our regularly scheduled recording setup next week. So.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.